What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. I know I didn't film anything last week, but I had technical issues, but I'm back. Because you know why? It is now the end of the summer anime season, and you know what that means. That's right, folks. Next weekend will be the start of the fall anime season of 2020, and who knew we'd actually make it this far? 2020 was pushing everything back in anime, and I mean everything. Stuff was being pushed back to next year, and as I look at the fall 2020 list of the ones that I'm going to be watching this season, I could tell you, it's going to be a busy season for me. I got 20 that are being added to my list. And since it's 20, you know this is going to be one of those long videos, so do yourself a favor. Sit down, grab yourself a drink, and let's get on with this. Now, if you've watched any of my What I Will Be Watching This Season videos, you know that I like to start off with the ones that I know for a fact I'll be watching over everything. So let us start with those. The first one on my list is, of course, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon? Season number 3. Now, I fell in love with this anime actually from the Bridge series, because at first I didn't care about it, but once I saw the Bridge series, I had to go watch this, and I gotta tell you, I love it. Following Belle and Hestia and the rest of their crew as they delve into the dungeon, Belle getting stronger, his harem completely growing as usual, and Hestia just thirsty for the boy and him not noticing or him trying to avoid it. I have loved their adventures, and the spin-off series was okay, but this one looks to be quite interesting because the girl who has blue hair in the trailer, at first I thought she was like some sort of elf or something, but it seems that she's going to be a monster of the Labyrinth Dungeon. And this is going to introduce monsters that can actually talk and have intelligence. This is going to take a whole new spin for all adventures that go into this. Will it have major changes on how they go into dungeons? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that maybe since she's a little younger, she's not going to be a love interest. Maybe like the little sister, big brother kind of thing. Because, you know, someone else that Belle could protect. And she does look adorable as hell. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be one of those adopt and protect characters that we all just love. The next one is a sequel that no one thought was coming until it was announced. It is The Irregular at Magic High School and is the Visitor arc. Now, I like this show. There are some people who don't like how our main boy is the overpowered, non-emotional with a building harem that he just doesn't care about. With the sister-brother love thing is a little for me, but I enjoyed it, especially when it got around to explaining why he really has no emotions because of the uber amounts of power he had. I like the story. I like this. I even started buying the light novels. Of course, I bought the light novels before this was announced, so yeah, I'm gonna maybe catch up. Who knows? I really want to see this because, I don't know, I really like the story. The next one. It is gonna be the wholesome anime of this season. I don't care what anyone says. It is called Tonakawa Over the Moon for You. I have been reading this manga since it came out, and by God, it is the most wholesome manga, right up there with Kome-san. I'm just gonna read you the synopsis. Nasa Yusaki falls in love at first sight after encounter with the mysterious Tsukasa. When Nasa earnestly confesses his feelings, she replies, "I'll date you, but only if we're married." Now, that right there seems silly as hell, but as you read the manga, which I hope this goes by the manga, doesn't change anything, they are very wholesome together. They get married, they do the paperwork, and then they start living together, and it's the little interactions. You know, him learning what makes his wife smile, she finding out what makes him nervous, them getting to their first kiss. It is all just wholesome. I cannot explain. It's like if this wholesomeness in this manga was candy, you'd have diabetes by the end of volume 3. I cannot wait for this, and just looking at the visuals from the trailer, this is going to be fucking great! The next one is another manga that is just so feel good that I cannot believe they made it into anime, and I was so hyped. I literally jumped out of my seat. I shared it with my friends. We're all excited to see this. It is called By the Grace of the Gods. I have done a video review on this manga, and I gotta tell you, this is gonna be good. As long as they stick to the story and they don't do any changes on it, this will be the good isekai manga anime of them all. Let me read that synopsis for you for those who have not. Only 39 years old into his life full of bad luck, Ryoma passes away in his sleep. Taking pity on him, 3 divine beings show compassion by reincarnating him as a young boy into a magical world. He spends his time researching and caring for slimes, but after healing an injured traveler, Ryoma decides to set out with his new friends on a journey to use his powers to help others. Now, I know the first thing out of most people who don't like isekai stories is, oh my god, it's another isekai story. Travel to another world, overpower who? No! No. Yes, he's overpowered, but at no point in this is he trying to be the hero. He's not going off to slay the dragons. He's not going to slay the demon lord. No. This is a story about a man who gets reincarnated and decides to live a fulfilling life just studying slimes. He does it for 3 years in the forest, and then when he meets these people, he comes to realize that maybe he should travel, and they convince him to go. And the interactions between him and these people, and the adventures that he eventually meets, and the way he uses his slimes are just fucking great. I'm sorry, if I got isekai'd and I had his ability to be in there, I would so do it just like him. I'm going to watch this, and as long as, like I said, they don't screw anything up, it'll be good. The only thing I saw, which was a little weird, was it looks like they were using 3D modeling for the slimes, but being that they're slimes, it might work out okay. I'm going to have to actually watch it to see how that looks, but overall, I'm probably not going to be disappointed. The next one is, I don't know how to describe this anime, so the only thing I'm going to tell you is definitely go watch it. It is the 3rd season of Golden Kamuy. The shortened version of what this anime is you have a soldier who is no longer a soldier, gets told of this story about a treasure full of gold that is tattooed on the back of, I think it was like 8 criminals who escaped, and he goes on an adventure trying to find them, hooking up with this little girl who, if you want to think in our layman terms, kind of like a Native American hunter, and they team up to work together. The fight scenes in this anime have always been great. I love the relationship between the 2 main characters, especially when it comes around to when they cook, which a lot of times there's a lot of cooking in a anime about searching for criminals and gold. There seems to be a lot of cooking segments in it, and it's just the story. I actually liked the story. I ignored it at first, but my friend said, Noob, you gotta watch it. Watch it. And when I did, I was like, I loved it, and I loved it. So this is season 3. I'm not sure at what point in the arc of the mangas this is in. I have not read the mangas, unfortunately, but if it's as any good as the last 2, I will be happy. The last one on my I am definitely watching no matter what animes is one of a manga that I was reading for a while, but then I lost track of it, and I just never picked it back up, unfortunately. But it was one of those mangas that I really think would have been better in an anime form. It is called Talentless Nana. Let me read the synopsis for you. An academy on an island in unnavigable waters. There, students trained fearlessly to fight back against the enemies of humanity. The protagonist, a student newly transferred there, also sets out with the intentions of eradicating all enemies of humankind. The thing that was very interesting about this manga when I read it is, think My Hero Academia, but they're on an island, and they're training. Your main character, which is Nana, the pink-haired girl, now she comes in. She seems sweet. She seems innocent. She doesn't really have any powers, but why she transferred there, no one's really sure. She makes friends with this one character, yada, yada, yada. And then, one day, she pushes that character off a cliff, killing him. And then she goes about killing other people. This pink-haired little girl was sent to kill people who may, in the future, cause harm to humanity. And it's just the way she goes about killing people. She uses their powers against them, and it was very interesting when I read it to see this character start killing people who could be saving them later on, but could also be bad guys. Is she really good on the side of justice, or is she bad on the side of evil? It was really hard to tell. But like I said, I was reading the manga, but I kind of lost track of it. So, if this anime does well, I may have to go back and re-pick up the manga. I'm really hoping it does well because, like I said, it's a very unique story, especially with a lot of these high school students with superpowers, yada, yada, yada. It could be really different. Alrighty then. Now for the ones that are on my list for consideration. I have no prior knowledge of these, so I will have to look into them. They may be good, they may be bad, but I'm not sure. The first one is apparently one of the top 3 manhwas that are out there, and manhwas have been picking up a lot recently. We had the Tower of Gods, we had the God of High School, and I guess this is the top 3 that rounds it out. It is called Noobs. Razel awakens from his 820-year slumber. He holds the special title of Noblest, a pure-blooded noble and protector of all other nobles. In an attempt to protect Razel, his servant Frankenstein enrolls him in Yiran High School, where Razel learns the simple and quadrillant routines of the human world through his classmates. However, the Union, a secret society plotting to take over the world, dispatches modified humans and gradually encourages on Razel's life, causing him to wield his mighty power to protect those around him. Now, the thing about this story is apparently it's about vampires. Your Razel character is like the purebred vampire. I guess he's a noble in charge. Think Dracula as top dog in the noble thing. He's probably right up there. I saw the trailer of this. It looked interesting, and plus, I hate to say it, we haven't had a really good vampire anime in quite a while. So I'm hoping this will be very good because I would love to see a new vampire anime out there. The next one is one I did not hear of, but the trailer and the synopsis kind of made me go, I think I'll give it a try. The title of this one is called Our Last Crusades, or The Rise of a New World. The Empire is a mechanized utopia with highly developed science and technology. The Noobs sovereignty is a nation feared as the land of the witches, which people use paranormal powers. The two countries have been constantly at war for more than 100 years, but now 2 heroes have appeared in either respective lands. I would read more of it, but basically it sounds like science versus magic and 2 heroes that will interact with each other and have to decide their fates. I like that. I've always been very fascinated with science versus magic. Biggest example for me would be the Index series or the Railgun series of a certain magical or a certain scientific. I've always loved those stories, so this one seems more kind of like a fairy tale version of that, and I kind of want to see where science and magic will have to work together and see where they go, because, I'm sorry, in my opinion, science and magic are exactly the same thing, just on a different side of a coin. So, could this be bad? Could this be good? I don't know. The trailer was quite unique, so I'm definitely going to check it out. Alright, the next one is I knew nothing about. I only know that the company PA Works does great animes and great stories, so I wanted to give this one a shot, see if it is another one that's probably going to give me such feels like all their other ones have. It is called The Day I Became a God. One day during Yuta's last summer vacation of high school, a girl named Hina suddenly appeared and proclaimed herself the all-knowing God. Hina announces to the thoroughly confused Yuta, the world will end in 30 days. Yuta then witnesses Hina's godlike powers of prophecy, convincing him that her powers are real. So basically, someone saying they're God has come down and say, hey, the world's going to end in about a month. It kind of sounds like maybe they're going to have to figure out how to stop and all that. PA Works has done some great stuff, so I really want to know why this is going to happen. Is she really God? Is she just crazy? Some people are wondering if this might be a prequel to Angel Beats in some way. I honestly don't think so, but it could be. And if it is, that'd be quite unique, because Angel Beats is one of those stories that everyone kind of refers to when it comes to emotional tugs at the heart. So if PA Works can do the same work that they did in that with this one, I think it should do good. The next one, the title alone was enough to make me want to go and watch this anime. The title of this one is I'm Standing on a Million Lives. 9th grader Yuzaki is practical, friendless, and not active in any clubs. Then one day, he and 2 female classmates are suddenly sent to another world where they must work together to battle for their lives. Yuzaki is a lone wolf and has always lived his life according to his wants. But how will that work out now that he's supposed to be a hero? So basically, it sounds like you've got your loner character who doesn't interact with any classes, doesn't really have much friends, and him and 2 other students get transported to the other world, and they proclaim that he's the hero. I'm sorry, I'm an isekai whore. I admit it freely. If it's an isekai, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to see what it is. Could this be good? I'm hoping for something as good, if not better, than Shield Hero and Reincarnated as the Slime. But I really want to know about that standing on a million lives. Is he going to take a million lives? Is it a million lives that he's protecting? I want to know what this title means. So I'm going to watch it just to find out. Okay. This one is an interesting one for me because I remember watching the original and parts of it bothered me. Still bother me to this point. And for them to make a new one, I kind of want to watch it. Part of me that is still bothered by it kind of doesn't. So this one is definitely my consideration, but it may take me a while to get to it. It is called Higurashi When They Cry. If you have ever watched the original ones, Psycho Bitches does not cover the ladies that are in it. Some of the things that those ladies did. I vaguely remember something that involves needles under the nails. And you gotta realize, I've accidentally had my nails ripped off before. So whenever I see anything that deals with that, bothers me. And then I still remember the little blue-haired girl, I can't remember her name, basically pummeling the fuck out of another kid that was picking on her with a school chair. This is one of those psychological horror ones that still bother me to today. I remember one of the first scenes that you saw in the first episode was the little blue-haired girl. Crows were basically picking at her dead body. It's like, the fuck? So to see that they're making a new one on this, especially with the alternate timelines or universes or however they describe them, I honestly can't remember. How's this gonna go? How crazy are they gonna get? The orange-haired girl with her big butchering knife-looking thing. And that laugh. That laugh is one of those iconic psycho girl laughs. Are they gonna have it? Because if so, as much as I'm scared, I'm actually very interested in it. The next one is one I don't know if I've read or not. It vaguely sounds familiar, but at the same time, I honestly can't read it. I can't remember if I read it or not. I've read so much manga and light novels that sometimes they get blended together. So when there's one I've either stopped reading, or I've lost interest in, or I dropped it for whatever reason, or lost the page and I couldn't find it no more. So I may have actually seen this. I'm not totally sure. It is called Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena. It's not about the destination. What is your favorite story? Does it have a hero who slays a dragon and saves a princess? Or a child of prophecy destined for greatness? Well, my favorite story is a little different. It is a tale of a witch who travels the world, seeking nothing in particular. With no quest of her own, she's free to wander wherever the winds take her, adding a few pages to the story of whoever she meets before setting out on her next adventure. At the end of her travels, the witch takes on an apprentice who will one day begin her own journey. And so the cycle continues, or so the story goes. Now the witch who starts the story anew. Who could she be? I'm very interested in this because I always love witches. I've always loved witches since I was a kid. Magic has always inspired me. And witches, I always love the stories of not the evil witch, but the witch who is just there. The ones who travel the world. Think Kiki's Delivery Service, or not even a witch, but just any adventure anime where the protagonist doesn't stay in one area. They find themselves in a town, they hang out with the townsfolk, and the next day they leave. I love adventure stories. And this is probably going to be one of those feel-good adventure stories. Like the synopsis said, she's not out to defeat the dragon. She's not out to save anybody. She's just traveling along, going wherever she wants, wherever the wind blows. And I think we need that. We need a happy-go-lucky travel story, especially during this year when traveling has kind of been restricted. So maybe we'll enjoy traveling with a witch of our own. The next one is one that everybody was shocked to hear that was happening. It is basically a sequel series to Inuyasha. Inuyasha, if you haven't watched it, where the hell have you been? Unless you are under 15 years old, there's no excuse for you to have never heard of Inuyasha. You know, the dog boy and the princess and the girl from the future. The story is just great. This is their sequel series. It is called Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. The daughters of Shishomaru and Inuyasha set out on a journey transcending time. In feudal Japan, half-demon twins Towa and Sensua are separated from each other during a forest fire. While desperately searching for her younger sister, Towa wanders into a mysterious tunnel that sends her into present-day Japan, where she is found and raised by Kagome's brother Sota and his family. 10 years later, the tunnel that connected the two heirs has reopened, allowing Towa to be reunited with Setsuan, who is now a demon slayer working for Kohaku. But to Towa's shock, Sensa appears to have lost all memories of her older sister. Joined by Murahu, the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome, the three young women travel between the two eras on adventures to regain their missing past. So it sounds like Shishomaru had twins, and Inuyasha and Kagome had a daughter of their own. It's going to be basically, it sounds like a trio of women going on adventures. If you loved Inuyasha and the stories of that, this basically looks like an updated version of the Inuyasha story. So if you're a fan of Inuyasha, like I was back in the day, even though I can't remember if I saw the final arc, I actually will probably hold this until I rewatch all of Inuyasha, which is going to take me some time, unfortunately. But if it's as just, as good as Inuyasha was back in the day, this is hopefully going to kick off a whole new long-running series of the Inuyasha storyline. Let me ask you a question, folks. Who likes Sherlock Holmes? I know I do. I grew up reading all the books. I watched all the TV series. And now, it seems that anime is going to take a stab, but not at Sherlock Holmes, but at his enemy, Moriati. The title of this one is called Moriati the Patriot. In the late 19th century, Great Britain rules over a quarter of the world. Nobles sit in their fancy homes in comfort and luxury, while the working class slaves away at their jobs. When young Albert James Moriarty's upper-class family adopts two lower-class orphans, the cruelty the boys experience at his family's hands comments Albert's hatred on the nobility he was born into. He asks the older of the two boys, who has a genius mind and a killer instinct, to help him rid the world of evil, starting with Albert's own family. The Moriarty family, starting off early. I've always been intrigued with Moriarty. He is Sherlock Holmes who took a bad spin. So this will be interesting. Will this have any tie-in with any Sherlock Holmes later on? Who knows? But Moriarty is going to be interesting because it sounds like we're going to be watching the bad guy. And I'm sorry, we need more animes with bad guys as the lead characters. The next one is an anime based on a manga that I know is a manga. It was on my list to read, and unfortunately, I never got around to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this anime. If I like it, I will go back and read the manga. It is called Kumakumakuma Bear, fantasy adventure comedy story. And let me just read the synopsis for you. You'll understand. 15-year-old Yuna prefers staying home and playing her favorite VR MMO game to doing nothing else, including going to school, when a strange new update gives her a one-of-a-kind bear outfit that comes with overpowered abilities. Yuna is torn. The outfit is unbearably cute, but too embarrassing to wear in-game. But then, she suddenly finds herself transported into the world of the game, facing down monsters and magic for real. And the bear suit becomes the only weapon she has. So this is one of those isekai into game stories. And I kind of found it funny because I've been playing video games since I was a kid. I mean, I used to play Super Mario on the NES way, way, way back in the day. And whenever you play online games, there's always that really ridiculously overpowered suit, but it looks like a Hello Kitty character painted it. So you always get, especially when you're on the game and you want to look like a big, powerful person, you can't really be wearing a pink helmet. So this is one of those stories where it's like, I completely understand where this girl is coming from. It's powerful. It's great. But it's cute and embarrassing. So is she going to wear it? Is she going to get normal armor? Who knows? And I'm sorry. I like cutesy animes. And it's an isekai. Isekai horror. We've been through this over and over again. So it's definitely in there. And it's definitely going to be watched. The next one is... I'm not sure how good it's going to be. But it kind of sounds like one of those kind of relaxed, sit down, kind of de-stressing animes that people are just going to enjoy. It is called Sleeping Princess in the Demon's Castle. Princess Silas is trying to get a good night's sleep. Some shut-eye. 40 winks. Catch some Z's. Long ago, in an olden time when people and demons lived together in, well, disharmony, a demon king kidnaps a human princess and imprisons her in his castle. While waiting for her knight in shining armor to come rescue her, what is an imprisoned princess to do? So she decides to while away the long hours by sleeping. Now if only she could get comfortable and didn't suffer from insomnia. So basically, your princess has already been kidnapped by the Demon King. Most stories you're following the hero saving the princess, but no one has ever asked, what is the princess doing while she's stuck in the castle? This one is basically telling you what is going to be happening. She's trying to take a nap, and apparently she suffers from insomnia, so she's not going to be able to really get one. And from what I've read, apparently the guards that are keeping an eye on her look like teddy bears with bat wings and stuff like that. So it's probably, like I said, going to be one of those cutesy feel animes. So I'm going to check it out. It might be just something I watch and enjoy and smile. Who knows? The next one is apparently based off of a game, and it doesn't really give much synopsis, so if you've played the game, you'll know more than me, but I don't know. It's called King's Raid, Successors of the Will. Apparently this is going to be an original story that will reveal new characters that were not in the game. I saw the trailer. It seemed like your basic fantasy RPG adventure, and I don't know, it could be good. I've liked the Tales of games and some of the animes that they did, so hopefully maybe this one will be good. Like I said, there's not much of synopsis on it, so I got nothing for you. It's one of those, I saw the trailer, it looked interesting, and I'll give it a shot. Alright, the next one seems to be kind of post-apocalyptic, dealing with magic and saving the world kind of story. I don't know. Looked interesting, and it's got cute girls in it. Cute girls using magic, fighting against evil. Why not? It is called Assault Lily Bouquet. On Earth, in the near future, humanity faces imminent destruction from mysterious giant creatures known as Huge. The entire world unites against the Huge and successfully develops weapons known as Charm. By combining science and magic, Charm exhibits high rate of synchronization with teenage girls, and the girls who use Charm are revealed as heroes called Lilies. Throughout the world, garden military academies are established to train Lilies to face the Huge and to serve as bases to protect and guide people. This is the story about fighting girls who aim to become Lilies at one such garden. So basically, kind of think Infinite Stratos, but with magic. And no male protagonists, it seems to be these girls. Only girls can use these powers. They're trained to try to protect the world. It could be really good. You know, it's another kind of high school, military, magic, and I don't know. The trailer looked interesting. The story is, well, it's not unique, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Alright, the next one is another one of those magic, post-apocalyptics, female-led team, but doesn't sound like military school. It's a little different. It's called Warlords of Sigdrifa. The Pillars suddenly appear on Earth, posing a threat to all life forms. Running out of options to protect themselves, humanity finds itself on the brink of extinctions. But a god named Odin offers them a way of salvation. Odin proclaims a counterattack against the Pillars by bestowing humanity with young female pilots with supernatural powers, the Valkyries, and their spirit-fighting planes as a means of fighting back. So basically Odin, father of Thor and Loki, sends down his Valkyries with magic planes. Okay, that's enough for me. I mean, I've watched weirder, so maybe this will be good, maybe it won't be. Like I said, I'm not sure. Of course, the cover has got a bunch of cute girls on it. They're really young, so I wonder how old these girls are. Some of them don't even look older than 12, so it kind of makes me kind of curious of what kind of Valkyries these are going to be. Alright, we are on the last one. Now this one, I could not find a trailer for. Everything I looked up for went to the visual novel game that it apparently is based off of. So, I've got no trailer to show. It is called Rail Romance Q. Set in Hinamoto, a fictional version of Japan, where a long-time railway service as the most important form of transportation. Each locomotive was paired with a humanoid control model, so-called Raillord, that aids the train operator. However, many rail lines have been discontinued due to the rising popularity of aero cars, a safe and convenient aero mode of transportation. As such, their company Raillords also went into deep sleep. Sotatsu had lost his entire family in a rail accident and was adopted into the Megata household, which runs a sochu brewery in the city of Hotayo. He returns to his hometown to save it from a potential water pollution that would occur if they accepted the proposal to build an aircraft factory nearby. He woke up the Raillord Hachikiro by accident and becomes her owner. For different purposes, they agree to help find her lost locomotive. With the help of his stepsister Hibiki, and the town's mayor and local railway chief, Puletta, and others. Now, like I said, this is based off of a light novel from what I have found out, so you know there's going to be romance, there's probably going to be characters fighting over the main character, but what kind of intrigues me is this reminds me of a very old anime called Chobits, where a guy finds a robot, accidentally wakes her up, and becomes their master. I kind of want to see, because Chobits is one of those really great old animes that had a very good romance story between a human and a humanoid robot, and the love that they formed with each other. Not like, you know, not a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of love, but the family love that they had by the end of that whole thing. It was very wholesome. One of the animes I would love to see them remake. So I want to see if this is going to be maybe this generation's version of Chobits. Could be bad, could be good, but I really want to see how it turns out. Well, folks, I know. Very, very long video. Like I said, 20-something animes, no, I take that back, 20, I did the count, are going to be added to my list. Am I going to watch all of them as they air? Probably not. There's probably going to be one or two, like normal for me, that I don't watch right away, or that I kind of wait to binge. But there's a good chance I'm going to be busy every weekend trying to catch up with these videos. What about you? Did any of these 20 catch your interest? Or are there any on the list of upcoming stuff in the fall that you think I missed that I should check out? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I've held you long enough. I'm the Noob. I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch y'all later. See ya.